Hello everyone, please turn on to SOHK TV because it's a great way to learn how not to make films.
I know it's hard for you. You've lost your brother. Did you get the guy that did it?
It's a little more complicated than that, Mother.
There was someone else involved, and Billy was killed.
Who?
Some cop.
If the tables were turned, your brother would have found your killer, brought me his head on a platter.
It's always hard for me to describe sometimes what my films are about. I would rather say what the idea is. And I had this idea to make a movie about a man who believes he's God versus a man who's searching for a fight. And they were going to meet and they were going to battle.
Time to meet the devil.
My relationship with Ryan is very intense, meaning that we're very close, and directing can be very intimate. You can build a very intimate relationship through that. How we usually work together is that we talk about what we want to do, we play it down with various ideas, and then we always talk about what it's not. Because in the end, it reveals itself what it is. In terms of acting, he's just the best. And it usually starts with an image. And then I have to have X amount of images that doesn't necessarily have any connection to each other. I put them down on index cards. And I put the index cards on a wall. And then I begin to stare at the wall. And after X amount of staring, in silence mostly, a pattern begins to emerge. And out of a pattern comes a story. Only God Forgives, for example, it all began with a man who would be looking at hands like this and go like that. That was how the whole film was conceived. I don't know what it meant when I came up with it, but I knew that this movement, there was a movie. The core elements of both Valhalla Rising, Drive, and Only God Forgives is this sense of revenge with violent behavior, but revenge out of the right reasons. I tend to compare sex and violence in a way to try to describe to other people what a creative process actually consists of. Violence is like sex. It's all about the build-up.
Did you get that?
And also what the whole point of art, which is just expression of emotions. And it's very primal, and the more primal it is, the more effective it is. Like sex and violence, it's all about release. It can be devastating, frightening, wonderful, poetic, strange, beautiful, and absurd. But that's what art can do. And art has to penetrate, and it has to devour with beauty and violence, because it plants thoughts in people's minds. And that's when art and the experience become one.
So, tell me, what line of work are you in?
I'm an entertainer.
An entertainer. And how many cocks can you entertain with that cute little cum dumpster of yours?
I have a ritual on all films, which is I go and I get a blanket and I wrap it around my stomach. It's there to keep the energy within me, and it calms me down, because making film is a very stressful experience. You're always nervous in the beginning when you shoot. You're always full of anxiety, and you have to respect that, because that's natural. You are in a situation where you have to be vulnerable, you have to show vulnerability. You also have to command and destroy, and you have to build and create, and all in a day's work. Usually, because I shoot my films in chronological order, it starts with fear. But then when you see it beginning to take life, you start to breathe and you calm down. And then it becomes very pleasurable. And then in the end, it's out of your hands.
You want to fight?